It started out like any other weekend renovation project. A group of 4 friends, Jake, Marissa, Dev, and Eli, had pooled their savings to flip an old colonial-era house on the outskirts of Savannah. The place was worn down but beautiful, filled with creaking staircases and ivy-covered bricks. The kind of house that had stories baked into its bones. They decided to document the entire process on TikTok, mixing DIY renovation with humor, ghost jokes, and the occasional horror skit for clicks. The content started picking up. Followers climbed. Sponsors were interested. Then, while tearing up the rotten wooden floorboards in what used to be the servants' quarters, they found something. A large, perfectly round slab of stone in the middle of the floor, a sealed well. There were no pipes, no records, no mention of it in the house's blueprints. Just an ancient iron ring in the center and strange markings carved along the rim. Dev suggested they open it, for content, obviously. Marissa hesitated. The air around it felt colder. Not just cooler, colder, like the temperature dropped the closer you stood. But Jake laughed it off. The next night, they went live on TikTok to unseal the Savannah well. They should have left it alone. Tens of thousands joined the live stream. They had ring lights, cameras, and even spooky background music. Jake did his usual dramatic countdown while Eli pried the slab loose with a crowbar. The moment the seal cracked, the lights flickered. Every single viewer saw it. Not a glitch, a real flicker, a pulse of darkness that dimmed every light in the room. The stone groaned as they slid it aside, revealing the mouth of the well, dry, deep, and filled with a suffocating darkness. Not the absence of light, but something thicker, heavier. They lowered a flashlight down, tied to a rope. It stopped after only 10 feet, hitting something solid. A box. Dev, ever the daredevil, volunteered to go down. He climbed inside the well and retrieved the box. It was old, sealed with wax, covered in symbols they couldn't read. Inside were human bones, tiny, childlike, wrapped in a cloth that smelled of mold and ash. Alongside it was a leather-bound diary and a jar filled with what looked like thick, black water. They opened the diary on stream. The handwriting was jagged, frantic. The first few pages described nightmares, voices, children disappearing. Then, they live in the jar. Don't open it. Please. I buried them so they'd never return. But curiosity, and the pressure of thousands watching, got the best of them. Eli twisted the lid open. The stream cut to black. Everyone thought it was a stunt. Comments flooded in. Glitch? Arg? Viral marketing? But the page never came back. The account was gone. Not banned, deleted. No trace. All 4 of their accounts vanished. Not just TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everything. Even their phones disconnected from the internet. Marissa's email was wiped. Dev's bank account froze. Eli's photos, messages, cloud storage, all gone. Jake tried to re-upload the stream from his camera, but the footage was corrupted. Every attempt to play it triggered system crashes. And that wasn't the worst of it. They started hearing noises in the house. Footsteps from the empty attic. Whispers coming through the vents. The jar, which they had placed on the kitchen counter, started moving on its own. Once, they found it sitting in the middle of the hallway, lid off, black water dripping across the wooden floor in long, smudged trails. Marissa began sleepwalking. She'd wake up standing at the well, hands covered in dirt. Dev saw things in mirrors, not himself, but someone else watching him. Smiling. Jake, the skeptic, disappeared one night. No trace. No signs of a break-in. Just his shoes left by the well. Marissa was the last to try escaping. She packed a single bag, turned her car toward her sister's house in Charleston, and started driving before sunrise. 30 minutes into the trip, the highway blurred. Not like fog, like time stretched. The sun never rose. The car's radio clicked on by itself. A voice whispered, "Bring it back." She turned the car around. When Dev and Eli returned to the house, they found her in the basement, humming an old lullaby neither of them recognized. The jar was back in her hands, sealed again. Her eyes were vacant. They decided to leave it in the well, box and all. They sealed the lid, poured concrete over it, and vowed never to speak of it again. A week later, someone broke into the house. A new TikTok account appeared, no handle, no description, just a single live stream. It showed the well, the jar, the diary, and a hand, pale and shaking, reaching toward the lid again. Then, once more, the screen cut to black. To this day, no one knows who owns that house. But every few months, the stream reappears, just for a moment. And if you ever see it, don't watch. Don't comment. And whatever you do, don't open the jar.